Well, hello there, all you YouTube wonderful singers. At least I assume you're all singers, or if you're not, why would you be watching my video? I don't suppose you want to build a fence or anything, and I was thinking about rickrolling you, but maybe in a future video. Anyway, today I want to tell you about my favorite exercise. I think it really is, actually, my favorite exercise, perhaps of all time. And it's a fabulous exercise. It's very simple, but if you can do it, I really believe that if you can do this one exercise, you can pretty much work your entire voice out by being able to do this exercise. And it's really, really cool. I mean, for men and for women. It's how I developed my high notes. It's how I helped develop my bridges. It's worked for countless students all over the world. And I'm not the only one who uses it, and I didn't even invent it. But it's awesome, and I'm going to tell you what it is as soon as I introduce myself. Hello there. I'm Mike Goodrich, creator of the Inner Singer podcast, Inner Singer singing programs, and all things Inner Singer. Because singing is an inside job, and if you don't know that by now, I'm just going to keep pounding it in until you get that it really is an inside job. All great singers say that. It's all about the mindset or how you set your mind. Technique, believe it or not, is kind of second, because you can have the greatest technique in the world, and you don't have the confidence, if you don't have the right perception of your voice, if you don't have your mind set right, then all bets are off, right? So anyway, I'm going down. I don't know why I went down this rabbit hole. This is not what this video is about. I'm going to tell you what this cool exercise is right now. It's called, for lack of a better name, the Squeaky Door. Some people call it the squeaky hinge. Some people call it the little edgy. You may have heard of it. It's okay if you have. Maybe I can tell you a little something about it and show it to you in ways to use it in ways that you haven't heard, and perhaps you haven't heard of it, So there you go. So here's what it sounds like. It just uses the edge of the chords and a very, very light air compression. And it's what's called a semi-occluded exercise. And what that means, semi-occluded, partially blocked, it means it's the air is being partially blocked before it comes out into the world. Ordinarily, when we sing, the chords vibrate, obviously. The mouth is open, and the air comes out into the world. But when we do semi-occluded exercises, our mouth is, there's something blocking the air, preventing it from coming immediately out into the world. Another great exercise that is kind of like the squeaky door, but not, is the hum. And you can tell that's semi-occluded because my mouth is closed. So my lips together, my teeth are apart. Okay? The squeaky door is a little different than that. It's got a similar sound, but it's a little more edgy than that. And it sounds like this. And the way you find it is it's just the edge of the chords. It's almost like a little bit of a fry tone, but not that low, but it's this kind of a thing. Like think of a baby going, but don't give me so much vowel. Give me more just the edge. And then you start kind of in your chest voice and you inflect through into your mix. Okay, so you see that there's no break in there, right? There's no break, and it's going up to a high C5, and it's got a chord closure, a very light compression, but not falsetto. So it's not pulled up from the bottom, and the chords aren't separating, so the chords are staying together through the bridges. So you take something like that once you've played with it, and you can do an exercise like this little arpeggio here. Whoa, that's pretty wild. Here we go. Rick rolled myself. And you take and you break it up and you accent it. It's a little easier than doing it legato. And you accent it like this. And so it's really, I just want to make sure everything's cool. Yes. Like, check it on me. Is this recording? Is this thing on? I don't know. But so you just want to break it up like that. And the reason I'm breaking it up rather than just doing it legato all the way through is because that little da 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 reestablishes the chord closure every time. So it works really good. Now, really, really good. That's really good English. It works really well. And so, oh God, help me. But phenomenal exercise for working out the bridges, working out any part of your voice that has particular excess compression. And one way that you can do this, for example, let's say you've got a hard passage in a song, the bridge of the song, the chorus, whatever, you can kind of squeaky door it just to see if you can maintain chord closure through those transitions and difficult parts. And one little clue you want to check. You take your thumb and you feel this muscle right under here, gently. And if when you do the squeaky door, or sing for that matter, if this muscle right here, the soft part behind the bone, if it's pushing aggressively down, that's way, 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 way too much tension. So a good way to relieve that tension and free things up is to use the squeaky door as a tool. And you take your thumb, you put it right there very gently. I emphasize gently, so you're not pushing, you're not doing, your thumb is just there to notice what's going on, okay? Now, if as you do this, for example, you say, if you feel this pushing really down hard against your thumb and you feel a lot of compression as you're going up, you want to very gently massage, just very gently. Very gently, and see what kind of a sound you can make maintaining relaxation. Now, if you're as tight as I used to be, you probably won't be able to make any sound without this thing just pushing down. Don't be discouraged. My larynx, which Adam's apple, right? Men have the Adam's apple. My larynx right here houses the vocal cords. Years ago, when I first started singing, I would just think of making a note, and my larynx would shoot up into my nose. And now it doesn't do that. Thank goodness. But anyway, so you can start eliminating that compression by using this. It's a really phenomenal tool. The other thing that's really great about this exercise is actually how I was able to develop my high notes. Because if you think of your transitions in your voice, men and women, think of the bridges. Think of the first bridge. You probably, if you're watching this video, and I work pretty much with intermediate and advanced singers, I don't really work with beginners. Nothing against beginners. It's just that they're not quite ready to do what I like to do, so I work with intermediate and advanced. Assuming you're intermediate and advanced, then you probably know what the bridges are, or the breaks in the voice, the bridges, the transitions, the passaggio in classical music. It's that area where you go from chest voice into mix, chest voice into head voice. You go from chest voice into something, right? You get out of your chest voice. So the important thing about working out that first transition or that first bridge is that you have to be able to allow the voice to thin out. You have to allow the vocal cords to stretch and thin and drop excess vocal cord baggage and excess air pressure, right? So this exercise is really terrific for that. And it's also terrific for getting up into the higher notes into your second bridge and then being able to take that and work it back down so that the very top of your range begins to influence the mid range, let's say in your first bridge. Really, really, really important stuff. And so once I was able to get through my bridges on this, I was able to then stop up there and say, so I could sustain it with vibrato. And I thought, okay, well, what if as I'm on that, I just open my mouth a teeny weeny bit and I give it a little vowel sound like an just a little bit. Will it still hold or will it crack? So I go, and it started to hold, right? I couldn't do it very loud, but that was the ticket to my high notes. Once I was able to do that, so I could get out of my lower voice, I was unencumbered getting out of my chest voice. Because I was a chest puller years ago. I'm going to pull my chest voice, push it up so high, had so much compression and tension I couldn't get to the top, right? I couldn't get out of my chest. But this allowed me to thin out the chest voice with this, and then make it through that transition into a light chord closure in my upper mix that I could then relax into, open my mouth just a little bit, have a little bit more air pressure, a little bit more vowel, and the next thing you know, I was singing a high note that I couldn't ordinarily get because I couldn't get it from the bottom. Because by the time I got up to it, I had so much weight, I couldn't get out of my chest voice. So this is really a terrific exercise for working your bridges, working through your passaggio, working through your break, working through whatever you want to call it, doesn't matter. Terrific exercise for that, but then it's also terrific that once you can get up into that, excuse me, you can actually start up there and just kind of press in, and all of a sudden you go right into that strong sound. Now that might not happen for you right away. Certainly didn't for me. I could only go about this far. That's about it. I could go about that far before it got wonky and weird and broke and cracked and all that kind of stuff. But what you'll find when you're working with that to develop your top, your higher notes, is you're going to find an elasticity in the voice, a flexibility in the voice, as if you had a big elastic band and you were leaning against it. And it had give. It's buoyant. It's like a trampoline, right? It's buoyant, it's vibrant, and it has some give and elasticity. What I mean by that is if I do this, I'll go a little higher. It has a buoyancy to it, elasticity to it. I don't feel like I'm bang hitting up a brick wall, right? Now, there will come a time when I've gone about as far as I can go with that, and then we back off a little, and then we sit into it just a little bit more. We don't want to ever come to the point where we are really just like that at all. Very relaxed, very easy. But as we do, just kind of lean into it like that, right? And you find that, oh my gosh, it's going to go on all the way through. Because what happens is the cords are now able to resist more air pressure without compensatory muscle coming in to do all that, and shut you down. So you go gently for a while until the cords get balanced and coordinated and everything's strong enough to start resisting a little bit more air pressure without bringing in the muscles you don't want. And you find when that happens, it starts getting louder and louder. Your ability to go a little further and further and further with it gets easier. And the next thing you know, you've developed your top. So totally love this exercise. For those of you that are disciplined enough to do this and really catch it and play with it, I'm really serious when I say you could almost develop your whole voice from mastering this exercise. Because this is the core of every sound you make. It's at the very, very core, that just little edgy, right? So, anyway, do that. It's awesome. It's a phenomenal exercise. Have fun with it, okay? So there you go. I hope you like this. I tried to keep it short, but I do talk a lot, so... But I can't help it because I get on a roll and I get excited about this stuff, and I know I'm really passionate about it because I know how well it works. And I know if you do it, it'll really, really work for you. So just be patient, okay? Just be patient. I showed you how to do it earlier, so just be patient with it. Promise you it'll work wonders. Okay? Cool. So, if you'd like a free video series, my free singing accelerator video series, then the link will be in the description. I have 3 videos. One is the magic of vowels. It is all about the vowels. Vowels are absolutely the colors that we paint with as the artists that we are. Okay? We have to master those. And it's much more detailed than just saying A, E, I, O, U, or A, E, O, U, or whatever language we speak, whatever vowels we sing in. So to master those and to get on the same page with all the vowels, really, really important. So it's an incredible video. It's about 20 minutes long. I give you a downloadable PDF vowel chart that I go over with you. Highly recommend you run and get it. I have a video on the singing in the brain, which I went a little bit into on a tangent earlier in the video. Can't recommend that more highly. And authentic performance, which is really awesome. I share an exercise with you that if you really do it, it's going to I swear, it'll put you a notch above other people that don't do it, because it's really that good. So cool. Go grab it. And if you want to know the difference between mixing and belting, is there a difference? Well, I don't know. I'll let you be the judge when you read the book. I've got the 5 biggest mistakes singers make when singing in the mix or belting and how you can avoid them. And the link is in the description as well. I have a Wisio page. What's a Wisio page? I'm glad you asked. If you would like my feedback in the form of video or an audio, I'll make you whatever you want, custom, then visit my Wisio page. You can make a video or an audio for me of you singing, and you can get my feedback, analysis, and help. I will actually give you stuff to help you. Or you can say, hey, I'm having trouble with this. Listen to this. Can you help me? I mean, you can either identify the problem. You can say, I think I have a problem, but I don't know what it is. Can you help me? And can you tell me? And I will tell you, and I will give you things to help. Okay? It's really, really awesome. It's totally affordable. So if you're interested in that, go there. Please subscribe. I'm building up the subscribers. It's so awesome. I love it. Thank you so much for subscribing. Sam, thank you ahead of time. Hit the bell for notifications. Comment. I love your comments. I'm learning a lot from all of you guys, and I'm really appreciative of it. And thumbs up if you like it. And there you go. Floating around here somewhere, recommended videos. I made them myself. Recommend you watch them. They're really good. Okay? So I will see you. It's really hot here in Southern California. And from what I understand, it's going to be 110 on Sunday. It's going to be awesome. Okay, I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.